BoxingVoice.com here with referee Steve Smoger. Steve, I want to ask your opinion on these two Mayweather fights, the first fight and the rematch. Do you think that the officiating was just in those fights? You think Kenny Bayless should have issued warnings? And do you think in the first fight that it should have been a little more strict with the way it was handled?
You have to, you know, I'm sorry to say I didn't see either.
Oh, you didn't see either ones?
Very, very lucky. I've been doing a lot of overseas work, and I was working with Eurosport Network overseas and have yet to see the replays of both, the on-demand replays, so I really couldn't comment. All I know is that Kenny's a fine referee, and I'm sure he did what he thought was appropriate. But again, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on any specific activity.
All right. Now, how much of an impact does the fighter himself have? Like, if you know a guy has a reputation for being dirty, is there a preconceived notion going in? Do you look for things more so than you would normally going in?
Excellent question. No, I don't. You want to have a clear mind, fighter A, fighter B, but you do establish your presence and your authority at the rules meeting and at the pre-fight instruction and final dressing room instruction. Say, it's come to my, you never say it's from me, because I don't want him to have any preconceived or her preconceived notions about me. But I'll say it's been brought to my attention that you may hit behind the head or you may do X, Y, and Z. Now, let me just indicate this so you can see in real time. I'm very fortunate to have Bartholomew and Saucedo this evening. As we all know, Bartholomew threw a late shot, or a shot that was after the bell. I don't think it was intentional. And I happened to mention, cuidate con timbre, be careful with that bell. And he knew right away. He knew what I knew. So we established a rapport, and that was at the rules meeting yesterday. So your question's right on. It's in real time, and I just wanted him to be aware of the fact that I was aware of what occurred in January. So he knows I'm a knowledgeable guy, ready to do the job.
Now, in the first fight, Tony Weeks was criticized for not doing enough in terms of reprimanding Maidana. But now, with this situation, we had a situation where Mayweather was excessively holding, in a lot of people's opinions. So do you think that maybe, you know, because of the first fight, so controversial, a lot of fouling that wasn't called, do you think that maybe in this fight, you know, he looked closer and he broke them real quick and didn't allow Maidana to fight in the inside just because of fear that Maidana may do something dirty on the inside like he did in the first fight? Does that carry over? I mean, we're all human. Referees are human too. Do you think that carries over?
Not really. Again, I'm at a disadvantage in that I didn't see it. But each fight has its own life. The fact that Tony did the first, Kenny did the second, from what you've indicated, I would think that there would have been no problem in that. In other words, no carryover. Each referee has their own style and their own thought process and the way they handle their pre-fight activity. So what you have indicated to me is I better get home and watch those two fights, is what I better do. But thank God I've been busy, and I'm thrilled to have this evening's card, and let's hope for the best.
I got one last one for you. Now, I know you do the referee seminars. You've been to a lot of the seminars. Now, is that something that you talk about, you know, get the emotional out of it, look at every fight as if you've never seen the guy fight before, and don't go in there with the preconceived notions? How hard is that for a young referee to be able to grasp that?
Excellent again. You're on point. I try to make that very, very clear. It's fighter A and fighter B. Let them decide their fight. You're there to implement the rules, but not to be a part of it. Just to be there to orient the fight, if you will, make sure it's within the rules, and let them, to the best of their ability, decide the outcome. And you've got to convey that, because they have different styles, different ego levels of this is me, whatever. You got to take that all away, and just, it's about the fighters. That has served me well, and I try to impart that to the younger referees that are coming up.
Excellent, Steve. Thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it. All right, you got it.
Going home, watch the fights.
All right.